Welcome back to the Tennessee Sports Hall of Fame special, presented by the Tennessee Titans. When the Titans moved to the Volunteer State, their head coach was Jeff Fisher. He remained the coach for a total of 14 seasons, had a tremendous amount of success, won a lot of big games. But Jeff Fisher's impact on Tennessee, all of Tennessee, was a lot more than just about wins and losses and other stats. In the process, Jeff Fisher became Tennessee's NFL coach. Former Tennessee Titans head coach Jeff Fisher is a Tennessean. He wasn't born here, he didn't go to college here, but while coaching some truly monumental moments, he fell in love with the state.
A wonderful coach to have played for, one of the best coaches I've ever played for.
Very, very detailed coach, and his players played like that.
Hey, listen up! Listen up! We got a little uphill climb, that's all!
He went on to play football in college for the USC Trojans, winning a national championship in 1978. Fisher followed his college career with a great run playing for the historic Chicago Bears team that ended with a Super Bowl 20 win in 1985. Then Fisher found his true calling. In 1994, Fisher was named the Oilers head coach for the last 6 games of the season. The next year, he was retained as head coach, and he started to bolster the roster. Fisher was building something great.
Coach Fisher's strengths as a leader is one who listens and he adapts.
Unknowingly to him at the time, Fisher would find his forever home in Tennessee when the Oilers relocated to become the Tennessee Titans.
And he doesn't get a lot of credit for navigating a team from one location to another.
During his time in Music City, Fisher led the team to 6 playoff appearances, 3 division titles, 2 AFC Championship game appearances, 1 AFC Championship, and an appearance in Super Bowl 34.
There was something special brewing in the air in '99. Get a sense that, man, this could really be a special year. And Jeff just said, hey boys, you're home now.
Fisher would continue to guide the Titans through the ups and downs over the next 10 seasons, with historic comebacks, play calls, and record-breaking performances.
My husband loved his job. He loved working for Coach Fisher. Coach let him be very creative, and they worked very well together. My husband trusted him.
Jeff Fisher's 173 career wins place him 11th all-time in NFL history. But wins aren't the only thing that concerned Coach Fisher.
Jeff has been an unbelievable supporter of the Heimerdinger Foundation, which we formed shortly after my husband's death, helping build up the name of the Heimerdinger Foundation that feeds cancer patients.
Jeff Fisher will always be known as one of the greatest Titans of all time. And Tennesseans everywhere are proud that he claims Tennessee as his forever home.
I just want to thank you again, not only for our professional relationship for over all these years, but for our personal relationship.
God bless you. Enjoy this time, man. I love you. Tighten up.
Thanks for everything, Coach Fisher. We welcome you to the Tennessee Sports Hall of Fame, class of 2020. And so now we're joined by the man himself, 2020 Tennessee Sports Hall of Fame inductee, Jeff Fisher. And Coach, I got to know, are you finally over the fact that you were tricked when you found out you were being inducted into the Tennessee Sports Hall of Fame?
You know what, Mike? It took a while to settle in. I don't know if you were behind it or not, but I know Coach McGinnis was. But I came in there just to visit with the guys and talk about something, it was combine or something. And then people started walking in. Brad Willis walked in. Camera crew walked in. Something's wrong with this picture here. So, yeah, I'm over it. I'm still really excited, and honored to be a part of that class.
Coach Fisher, if I'm not mistaken, your first visit to Tennessee was almost 40 years ago to the day. September 13th, 1980, USC playing at Tennessee, second game of the season. Incredible ball game, 17-17. Vols are driving late, maybe for the winning score. There's an interception. USC takes it back into Vol territory, kicks a field goal on the last play of the game, and the Trojans win 20-17. The man who intercepted that pass was Jeff Fisher. And as you and I worked together for years, people would mention this to you occasionally. And as the team was getting settled, the Oilers becoming the Titans, you were somewhat reluctant to talk about it at times, not because you were ashamed, but because you didn't want to offend any of the Vol fans.
Well, yeah, you're right, Darren. You described the moment much better than I lived it at the time. It was a memorable experience for me, to say the least. And, you know, over the years, it's been fun to, you know, talk about those memories. And as you say, Mike, that was my first legitimate memory of thousands that took place in the great state of Tennessee.
In terms of your memories, where does the 10-0 start in 2008 rank in your time as the Titans coach?
A lot going on, quarterback change. Kerry had the keys, and you know, we were off and running, and you know, we kept going and going, and you look back and you go, you know, it was a great start, and people forget about that. It's hard to win 2 in a row in the league, let alone 10, and you know, people start talking about, you know, the Miami Dolphins of '72 and will the Titans do it? And we just stayed focused and got the playoffs, and then, you know, things fell short for us.
We like to say in Tennessee that no matter where you're from, once you move here, you become a Tennessean. And I know it was that way over 14 years as the head coach for you. You became, you know, this state's pro coach. Everywhere you went, people knew Coach Fisher. But I also want you to talk about the experience of raising your 3 kids here and what that has meant to you, yourself, and your family in becoming Tennesseans.
You know, Mike, it's interesting you brought that up. I just moments ago, before we came on, I was talking to my youngest son, Trent, who was teaching at CPA and also coaching there. And, you know, when you talk about this profession and the fact that my kids were 5 years apart in age, the 3 of them, and all of them attended the same elementary, middle, and graduated from the same high school. That doesn't happen in National Football. It really doesn't happen in many vocations anymore, but especially professional sports. And, you know, it was a blessing for us, for the family, and I'm blessed to have been a part of that for so long.
Certainly the story of sports and the history of the state of Tennessee cannot be told without you, Jeff Fisher, which is why you're part of the 2020 induction class of the Tennessee Sports Hall of Fame. We thank you for taking time with us on this Tennessee Sports Hall of Fame special.
Well, Mike, thank you so much as well for your contribution and your part in this, to Brad Willis, to everybody with the Hall of Fame, and to all the inductees and to all the fans. It's an honor. I can't wait to live it in person once things settle down. So truly, I'm honored and humbled, and thank you once again.